Well, sorry about this, guys. Let me go ahead and get this ready for VR. I probably look like a doofus with the headset on, but don't matter. Here we go. I don't know. It's probably not broadcasting what I'm seeing, but we're gonna get it. Hopefully the broadcast is still going. You know what? I wanna try the showroom. Let's try the showroom. I always wanted to look at one of these BMWs. All right, give me that. Oh. Maybe I should have paid attention to the controllers. Change lights, move camera, move direction. Well, I'm kind of like, I like really, okay, maybe if I just, wow, okay. That got me really close. I'm not digging this mode right here. I feel like it's trying to do what Forza did with the Kinect, and it kind of accomplished that from we're talking about the first Forza, which tried to do that whole Kinect thing. Let's try this out. Let's see what the VR and Gran Turismo is going to be like, because this has unfortunately some high expectations, and I want to try it on a very scenic area. Unfortunately, I still have my limitations in VR mode, so you know what? This looks like it might work out for me. I want to try one of my cars. Let me lower the volume down on this. Just want to get us for now, because I don't need to be immersed right now. I'm just looking at a flat screen of cars. You know what? I'm sorry if my taste is no more expensive than this, but let's start from the bottom. And then by the bottom, I don't mean like trash. I mean just out of the cars I have, this is probably the most affordable. You know what? I want to do the Dodge. I feel like I've stuck with Dodge in multiple different types of racing games. I want to see what it finally feels like to be in a SRT Hellcat. So let's do this. I've heard a lot about the VR. It's not like I'm going into this completely blind. Like, I know that you only race one other person and all that, but when it comes to VR, you got to experience it. You can't just be told how it feels and then know how it feels. You have to go through it yourself and make your own opinion, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I said, that's cool that you don't like it and you feel like it's limited, but oh, can I, wait, hold on. Okay, I'm going to have to turn. Not exactly straight in my chair, I think. Well, hold on. I mean, is there any way I can kind of like get this to be in the direction I'm sitting in? Holy shit. Maybe if I just... Okay, let's try that. Ah, still doesn't feel right. Well, this is as good as it's gonna get, I think. Well, I mean... Hold on, no, I'm sorry. I gotta do this again. I gotta scoop my chair to like this way right here. Alright. This is so weird. I usually, there's, for games like this that usually don't center where you're actually looking towards, you just hold the options button down and it recenters it, but this one doesn't do that. So it's kind of, it's the only game I've seen that's just like, no, bitch, you center to me, I won't center to you. Okay, now, last time I paused, I'm sorry, it's just, this is where I should really have it turned up. Just for reference, I am using the Bose headsets that I showed in earlier, and that is so I can get the most immersive sound possible. Oh shit. gotta say they really did do an amazing job. Because I actually know what one of these looks like on the inside in real life. I just never drove one, and the detail. Just so I can make sure I'm like not getting the. I'm trying to get the most optimum. I have to like refit my headset. I mean, I have to contort to this game. I need to take a breather. Hold on a second. So far I'm liking it. So far I'm liking how they handled the layout. You know what's funny is that the information they give you in the VR is way more clean and probably exactly the kind of information I've wanted only to display in the HUD in regular non-VR mode. And that's not an option. This is as close as it's gonna get to driving the real thing, and I gotta say, apart from that beginning where I've had to figure out, unless there's like a way that I don't know yet, but I had to like kind of like face the direction of what the game wanted me to face, and not the actual direction I was sitting in, so I had to kind of like move myself to where it felt like I was in the right place. And now my dog Mickey jumped on my lap and scared the shit out of me. Full 360 view. That's pretty badass. That's really badass. Hold on, I just gotta make sure that my dog's not on my vape. Alright. Oh shit. Okay. Ow. So the sound quality in VR is amazing. Compared to Drive Club VR, I think this one just sounds better. Oh hell yeah, dude. I just pulled up right next to that, and it sounded so beautiful. It sounded so beautiful. Like, I can believe that this, I mean, maybe it is exactly how the vehicle sounds. I haven't really heard it, started before. Granted, like I said, when I saw it, it was in the showroom. But yeah, man, I can believe that this car sounds like this. And if it does, then I'm stupid. Either way, the point I'm trying to make is that the sounds bring me even closer into the experience. The detailing in VR mode is incredible. I try not to get like too thrown off because I am trying to enjoy the race. Oh, cool. That was just, oh my god, I'm not even on, I just started lap 2. Right. Yeah, the detailing in here, I would say, is a notch up from Drive Club. Drive Club had it good, it had it great. Here's this one feels more representative. It's better for me, in my opinion. I'm really digging it. I like the way that the dome lights look. It reflects light based on how I'm looking at it, which is something that I didn't really notice with Drive Club VR. I'm not saying I won't drive or play with Drive Club VR again. It's still got its place, but I can like tell what kind of material I'm looking at when I'm in the vehicle, which is kind of cool. I'm gonna try the showroom one more time because I feel like I didn't give it an earnest shot. Let me try it with another vehicle. This one's low enough to the ground. I don't like the turning like that. Is there any way to get? Okay, apparently there's no way to get in the vehicle, but I mean, like, it's a weird. I wouldn't call it a showroom. I'd call it a view car. Showroom just makes it sound more elegant. It sounds so much more amazing. This is not amazing. This is just looking at the models up close and personal from the outside. I guess the equal to this would be racing in VR, which is looking at the model interior from inside up close and boom. I mean, this looks cool and all, but I mean, maybe I'm just one of those guys that's not really impressed with the. I mean, I'm trying to get more enthusiastic about the cars that are race tuned or like completely like freakishly done to look like a race monster. I'm starting to try to get the hang of, you know, admiring them and taking in the beauty that they have, you know. But as of right now, no, I don't like the way those cars look. I like the way the cars originally look, and maybe just a little bit of a little pinch, like the Lambo I have here. Which I'm just gonna pick this one. I'm gonna show you this Lambo. Where is it? Really? It looks just like the Huracan original model, but it has its little touches here and there, and that's what I like about it. Most of the stuff is inside, but what I'm saying is cosmetic. Like this, like, I mean, that just, it should be more impressive than it is to me right now, and I'm trying to get up to where it should be impressive to me. But like, this is what most of Gran Turismo so far for me is just a bunch of these race team cars, race spec cars, and the basic model version of that race spec car, and it's depressing. Okay, well, you know what? Enough about that. Let's go with an actual race spec car. Let's rally. That's an Audi R8. Yes, we'll do that. I think the biggest reason why I don't really appreciate the full experience of those race cars is because I can't connect to them. Like, you know, I connect more with the vehicles I see on the road every day. I connect more with those vehicles. The vehicles that I see more on the road that I can look up close and personal to the point where it's like normal. I appreciate those more than the race cars. Okay, let's hope they don't fucking turn my steering or my like direction over. Okay, they didn't. I'm still in the same skid spot. Alright, hold up guys. The cables are like all over the place and I need a vape break. I couldn't take a vape break earlier because I was racing. I could one. There you go. P.S. Or special note. Vaping in VR, not exactly the best experience. Considering that the camera needs to see the blue lights on the VR headset at all times, and the vape contributes to vapor being the one to block the lights away or confuse the camera. But it works. Riding, or not riding, well, racing at night has its perks, but one major downside is you can't really see much of the interior, and that's a downer for me. I mean, I'd like to see the insides. After all, that's where I'm racing from. That's the VR experience, right? But that's okay because I get to see if I can take a vehicle that I've had problems racing with for quite some time and put it in a condition I had problems racing in for quite some time. See if I do better with both of those in play. Oh damn! First off, there's no mini map, so I've had to like look ahead and kind of guess where I had to go. And it wasn't that big of an issue in the last track, but this one where it's kind of like artificial, that's a problem. But I think I'll get it. I think I'll get it. It's really cool though. I will admit though, no matter. Hold on, I gotta refit my VR headset because it's kind of blurring me out. Might be my glasses, but I gotta admit though, regardless of what I say about racing cars and how I don't really appreciate them for probably what they really are, like I don't really get the full impact of why it's so cool to race in one of these cars. I will admit though, in VR, it does hit you a lot harder that you got a big behemoth of a vehicle that its only sole purpose is to go fast and go fast everywhere that it can. If you do it in VR, yeah. Oh snap. Ow. Oh god, okay. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the coolest experience I've had in any VR game that included cars. It was so amazing. That shouldn't be amazing, but that is an experience that felt so real. Like the graphics in VR, they don't take as big of a hit as I thought they would. I mean, they look amazing. Now, I'm just gonna say the obvious. It's not as amazing visually to the eyes if you were just to see it on a TV screen, but I think the immersion of it all, the fact that it just looks like it's right there, kind of makes those details that were sacrificed a bit more important for 2D, but it doesn't feel like it's important for VR. I think all the detail they can ever fit and ever want in VR is here. So great. One big thing I wanted to point out that I don't think a lot of people notice, or a lot of people know, but just wanted to point this out because this is also an incredible thing I just realized is, when I'm playing Gran Turismo, I usually pay a lot of attention to the gears that I have to be in. And I also pay a lot of attention, I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly. I pay all kinds of attention to two things: the gear that they recommend me be in and the mini-map. And I just noticed I barely looked at the gear recommendation suggestion blinky thing that's down there in the compartment area, in the middle compartment. I barely looked at it, and I don't think there's a mini map viewable in VR. If there is, I haven't found it yet because I don't know about it. But yeah, hold on. Before we do this, is there any way we can kind of like look at the controls for VR? Well, cancel that. Screw it. We'll just keep on going the way we're going because it's not that big of a deal. Let me try another type of racing. Let me do it during the daytime too. Rally racing. Like I said, the tracks I don't like. Let's do it with. Let me see that. I want to do it with a Subaru. Should be exciting. So yeah, so far, just by playing what I played so far and seeing what I've seen from both aspects of the VR mode, the showroom, I'm not gonna bother with that. I don't know. There's nothing there. It's not like the Forza Vista mode at all. It's just, and then the turning for the analog stick is so sudden that it's not nauseating. But it's just so bad. I wouldn't want it. I would like a smooth turn, kind of like Farpoint. But I guess it's okay. It's okay. You still got the VR mode, which is this one, which is the one that should really be the main course. And that one, oh shit! Okay, I gotta turn back again. All right, let's see how. Hold on, is that I kind of pulled. Sorry, kind of pulled the cable there for the VR headset. Which is a very weak excuse for me to vape. Alright, let's do this. I want to see, and so far, what I've noticed is, one of the cars I remember having the worst time trying to control and handle, and during the worst time of racing that I thought that combination would have been it. That just would have been no difference, but there is a major difference in racing with VR versus racing with controller. I mean, I'm not with controller first. Racing is just a standard 2D image. It's like it's completely different experiences from the same game. It's just amazing. It's very easy to forget that this is really just an experience. It's not really a game mode. Having just one other participant in the race makes this feel a lot less exciting than it could be. Because yeah, for the first time, this is good enough. But in the long run, I'm going to be playing this game in VR mode. I really think adding more racers with better intelligence, kind of like what they did in the regular mode. I feel like if they could do something similar to that, maybe not to the same exact number, but at least capture the AI, so that way that one car that you race up against feels a lot more challenging, and really, and you know, the racing would then get a lot more intense. Yeah. So far, I gotta say, my opinions from many perspectives are going to be nullified, accepted, or rejected based on who cares that I'm playing this without a steering wheel. I don't think a steering wheel is necessary. I think that a steering wheel to play with this game is an absolute increase in immersion, and I believe that the game could be fundamentally way better with a steering wheel. I'm just saying I believe that's possible. I've never really played Gran Turismo with a racing wheel except for the PS2 version, which I think was Gran Turismo 4, and that was it. But even if you don't have a racing wheel, as long as you have VR, I feel like that's enough, because this is enough for me. I don't really need a steering wheel. I think the vibration from the controller, plus just visually seeing everything right here, even though I'm not really looking too much into the vehicles, it's because I'm so immersed into the experience that I'm treating this like I'm really driving. And when I'm really driving on off-roads, I don't really pay too much attention to the vehicle I'm in, even though I really do want to pay attention to it, because there's so much detail that they left in that they did not take out for VR mode, which I was afraid was going to be an issue. I mean, they definitely, oh yeah, everything looks like it's real material, you know what I mean? Like I can tell apart. Like I looked at the steering wheel, and I looked at the roll cage. I looked at the roll cage, and it looked like metal. It sounds stupid, but in a lot of VR games that I played, a lot of things don't look like what they should look like, or they don't look familiar. They don't look common ground. Like the materials look like, in terms of texture-wise, they look the way they should, but they don't really give off that. Oh God, I think I'm just rambling off myself into a corner, aren't I? Let's do some city driving, and let's do it at twilight, because as we've seen, I really don't have time to look at interiors with all the driving. Let me do this with the Mercedes. Yeah, so far the VR is a good experience, but it doesn't have any lasting potential, not unless they give some updates to it and actually put some, you know, meat to this mode. For now, all it feels like is an experience. And by that I mean it's just something that you experience, like skydiving, and then that's it. It's not an actual gameplay. They don't expect you, or at least I hope they don't expect you to continue playing it in VR for more than maybe one session. Like I don't feel like I'm gonna go back to this for quite some time. I feel like I have more to do in Drive Club VR than I do in Gran Turismo VR mode. Ooh, this is so amazing. Also, I did want to point this out. The biggest problem people have with the details and graphics, and I'm sure everybody's heard it, is the reflection of the dashboard on the windshield. Well, you'll be happy to know that problem is completely fixed. Strangely, VR mode. The sound is amazing. Every car I've driven sounds unique. It sounds like it should. Like, if I looked at this vehicle and I heard this noise, I would believe that this vehicle makes this noise. And that's the biggest thing I gotta mention. Well, the biggest thing I did mention is the sound and the lack of challenge. The challenge more or less lies in your own driving experience than it does in AI. I think that's just there to kind of like. Actually, I'm thinking about it. I don't really know why he's even there because you don't really get any medals for winning first place. As far as I'm concerned, I haven't seen any coins or currency added to my my profile since I've been making these races. So I don't really know what the point is of having first and second place for the thing in this race. It shouldn't even be a thing. It's just there to distract you, I think. One thing I want to say that compares Gran Turismo to Forza in terms of their latest iterations is that so far, every time I've shifted in virtual reality here, I'm not saying that Forza is just in terms of design, Gran Turismo has not failed to put in the detail of shifting. Because Forza, the animation's there, but the shifter and the vehicles don't actually move, and that kind of breaks the immersion. For what it's worth in Forza, but here the shifter moves with the animation, so it feels like you're actually shifting and you're not driving a static image of a cockpit. Yeah, but see, I'm looking at these bars and the way the light's reflecting off of it, and the way it just looks, it does look like steel bars, which is crazy. I never looked at something like that in Drive to VR and noticed that detail. I did notice that the vehicles were detailed and they functioned and things didn't look out of place, but this one just, I had no idea it could look this good for racing games with VR. This is really good, guys. And I know describing the VR experience means nothing. It's nothing because this is an experience that you need to at least go through once. Just one time. If you drive, if you have a license, if you have a car, I feel like at least one time Gran Turismo VR tour or VR mode should be used. I can't really push it for more than one session. So far, yes, I believe there's one big thing to note that to me shows the quality of the immersion this mode produces from Gran Turismo, okay? The big thing is how I'm driving. I feel like I'm driving this vehicle like I would be in real life, and that's not something I'd say for a drive club, because I'll take chances and risks that I know I wouldn't take in real life. I know it's VR, but this, oh my god, it's incredible. It's incredible. It's as close as you're gonna get to somebody from a racing team, like the main guy coming up to you going, hey, take this car out in this track, have fun. You see what I mean? There's no like progression. As far as I'm concerned, I didn't get any money I didn't get any of this. I didn't get any mileage added. I didn't get my miles done. I mean, I don't know. There's nothing to earn from the VR driving mode. There's nothing to earn but just experience. I didn't even level up or anything, so it's really no reason to have first or second place because there's nothing to race for. There's nothing. And I feel I'm disappointed about that because Drive Club already set the guidelines for how to do it. Just do what you did in the arcade mode, non-VR non-VR arcade mode. Just do what you did there with the whole beginner, intermediate, advanced. Even if it's just one person, one other person, whatever driver you're racing against, just do that, and then reward somebody for doing good in VR mode. I mean, I think that's the best kind of compliment you can get for your driving in VR mode is just, since you feel like it's your driving, it's more accurate representing yourself. I feel like if they just rewarded me for my good driving. Besides that, I'm going to try one more and then I'm going to get off of VR because, VR tends to set a pretty bad migraine if I stay in it for too long. So I want to do something else here, but I want to do it with another car. Something wildly different from what I'm doing. I did 2 like race cars or whatever. Let's do something different, but let's do something that I can, you know what? I wanted to do that track that I was having an issue with earlier. I can't remember where it was. Was it this way? I think it was this one. I think it was this one right here. Let's do some morning. Yeah, there you go. I want to go into a vehicle that's wildly different. I never did go into the Camaro, did I? Let me go into the... No, hold on. There's a special thing for the dash on this Mazda Atenza. The little digital thing, the little digital gauges. I want to see how that looks in VR mode. Because I've seen that technology put into vehicles like the what is it? Cadillac XLR, I think. Oh man, I probably sound like a dumbass on this, but anyways, yeah, I've seen where it reflects the image off of the windshield, and then the windshield projects that image back to the driver, and it uses that kind of method to provide you information such as speed, and depending on the vehicle, it can give you a lot more. But I wanted to see how that works in VR mode for this one. Hold on, guys, I vaped, and all that vapor just stayed in my VR headset. Well, it works exactly like I expected it to work. This is right-hand drive, so I had to kind of adjust my seating position. It just sucks so much that as far as I'm gonna have to look this up after I get done with this stream here, but there's no obvious way to kind of like straighten it up. At least not the normal established way that every VR game has ever done since the beginning of the VR for PlayStation has done. So just hold the options button down. But you know what? I'm not going to give it a pass on that just because it's Gran Turismo. Let's keep on going. I am going to admit, looking at the digital information display there, unfortunately in VR mode I can't really make up the details of what it's displaying, which sucks. Just to make sure it's not just the positioning my headset. I want to make sure. Yeah, no, it really isn't. The details for the digital gauges or the speedometer not good enough to see. This is what I'm telling you. Look how he shifts it, and then the shifter moves with. Oh, I forgot it's automatic. Okay, I feel dumb. Never mind. See, this feels more like a car I'll get behind at some point in my life. So I feel like, as much as it can be, this is really good. I really like it. I can't make out the details of stuff that include numbers, not even on the gauges, except for maybe the RPM dial. But that's not really because I can see it and, you know, read the numbers on the gauges. It's more because I remember what they look like, and so I just kind of associate that and fill in the blanks. But still, even if the information I'm seeing here is blurry, and I mean anything that includes numbers or texts, apart from the little HUD here, is blurry. And the funny thing is that even though most of the small little letters and numbers I can't read, I can still see the material, and I still know just from seeing the material, oh snap, what type of material that is. Like, I feel like if there was a virtual way I could touch the material, my mind will automatically, you know, connect the dots and remember what that material feels like, and maybe in some weird way I can find out for sure. I don't know. I'm just rambling off. I digress about all that, but still, it's really good. Like the reflections are good. The material looks like it should. It doesn't all look like one thing, just with different shines and textures. The cockpit view camera, obviously way better than in non-VR, because I don't know, they really, the non-VR, if you have your controller set up where the gas and acceleration are the triggers and not the analog sticks, the right analog stick, and you use the right analog stick to look around in cockpit view, that snap that happens when you go from looking straight forward to looking inside the interior, that snap just, I think, for me personally, kills the interior view in non-VR gameplay, because it's just so sudden and it's just so disorienting. But I'm so glad they didn't have any kind of bullshit snap feature, protection, motion, blur, barf, whatever in the VR mode to where you have to snap your view to look around. So glad that's not the case. Definitely gonna be my my last VR race, because the sweat is setting in as they made this headset the best they could, but still it's not comfortable to wear for long periods of time. You can try, but it's not worth it, because it's just gonna leave you disoriented, hot, sweaty, bothered. Most importantly, with a major headache. So I feel like I feel like I've done everything there is to do in VR, which means I think I can give it a proper review. That's what I feel like I can do. I can give it a proper review, because is it safe to say that I really don't need to go through every single track to know how I feel about the VR experience too? I feel like I've not done the entire experience. Like, I have to try every car. I don't think it really matters if I try one car over another for both experience. I'm gonna get to that eventually through the course of time, but I would like to give my review out of this, because I've seen all there is to see for the VR experience that Gran Turismo gives. The showroom is not worth it. Not worth it. You can't get into vehicles. I mean, let me just show you one more time. I'll pick this one. The only controls you got are to change the lights and to go back. Also to move the camera and to move direction. It's guys, it's not what I thought. It's very lackluster. I feel like a midget trying to come up to this car, and I haven't had a position problem up until this point. Yeah, so VR showroom is just a beta thing they started that they just forgot was still in the game or something. Or maybe they just like, maybe we'll work on this eventually. I don't know. This just feels so incomplete. VR showroom feels so incomplete. It feels so lackluster. And most importantly, it feels so unnecessary if that's all they're going to do for you in VR. So VR driving is all about an experience. You experience it like you do anything else that's exciting, that you might think is exciting. You do it one time, and then you probably don't want to do it again unless you're really passionate about that kind of thing. Right, point I'm trying to make is that VR driving's cool when you first do it, but then after you've kind of desensitized to the, you know, the first moment that you've tried it, you start seeing that there's very little to keep you going. No progression for your profile, no leveling up, you don't earn any currency. This is literally the biggest waste of time if you're trying to continue your progress in a cool way, because it's not going to do that. It's like you can do VR driving all day, and according to your profile, it's like you didn't even play the game, which I think is a big misstep. It's probably the biggest. It has other issues, such as the only other driver being there not being as challenging as the drivers can be, and with the AI in the game, because when you play it normally, they're way more challenging. They even give you levels of AI difficulty to choose from, so you can get one that's challenging enough for you, or you can go above and beyond and push yourself. That's not even in here. You're stuck with the one type of AI intelligence the driver has that's not even good enough for driving. It's not. I'm acing these things not because I'm necessarily getting a weak AI. It's because I feel the experience, but the weak AI should provide a challenge if it's going to be there, because like I said, there's no progression in VR mode. None. No progression at all. Which, like I pointed out earlier, makes the whole having another racer to race against stupid and pointless. First place, second place, don't matter. You get nothing either way. Gran Turismo VR, not worth picking up a VR headset. I'm just gonna be honest. That's an expense that I don't believe this provides benefit for. So those looking to play with the VR mode in Gran Turismo, or looking to get a PlayStation VR for Gran Turismo, just keep in mind the wow factor goes away really quickly. Not saying that it gets dull, but there's no reason to come back for it other than to experience being inside a vehicle in your garage that you race with. That's it. And it's disappointing for me personally. I didn't buy the VR headset obviously for Gran Turismo, but I expected, since Drive Club, that there would be features in here that would expand upon the features that Drive Club had, such as progression, or hell, do what you did for the non-VR mode in here. Just do one little feature. There's so many features that VR mode is missing. So many features that they can just add one every month and I'll be satisfied, because all those features can change the experience of just playing the game, not the experience of being immersed, which are two different things that I've been failed to add a discrepancy towards. But yeah, this is probably gonna be the last time I do VR in Gran Turismo for a long time. I feel like I got more to do, more to go after in the non-VR mode. Having that said, I'm taking this VR headset off. PlayStation, you make great games. Oh, let me turn this off. Oh. Okay. I'm probably still streaming, aren't I? Yeah. Hold on. Well, I'm pretty sure I got that all mixed up. All right, bear with me, guys. I'm just trying to get my headset on here. Switching from VR to regular. It's gonna take a minute. verify that the microphone I'm using is the microphone for the storage. I'm not storage, the broadcast. I forgot where to go for that. Devices, I think. Yeah. There we go. Okay. That's good enough. All right. Cool. All right. Everything's good. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Whew. It's been a hell of a time, but I'm going to have to close off the broadcast for now. Thanks everybody for tuning in. That was the first time trying VR, and gotta say, I let down. But I see the potential it has. I see the potential. The foundation is there to build a great experience, a great game mode, because it's not a game mode in my book. It has the foundation laid. All it needs to do is just build on it. Thank you for tuning in with me, guys. Well, the camera's a little messed up because of the VR thing, but rest assured, nothing you're missing here. I will see you guys in the next sessions with Snake Vape. Hopefully you guys will enjoy the next one.